the chainsaw for bureaucracy.
What do you think of my hat? I wear a lot of hats.
I thought my son might enjoy this, but he's sticking his fingers in my ears.
Humble tech support here.
Who's big balls?
It's big.
That should be obvious.
What if I told you Elon Musk just called out DC's dirty laundry and the panel on the Fox's The Five couldn't keep it together? From Greg Gutfeld's cutting remarks to Jesse Waters slamming Jessica Tarlov, it was a verbal cage match that exposed the real agenda behind Musk's exit from Washington. This isn't just about Musk. It's about the media meltdown, the spending collapse, and the future of the country. Let's get into it.
The Doge Daddy is gone and done. Elon Musk announcing his departure from D.C. and thanking President Trump with an announcement on X where he said, quote, "The Doge mission will only strengthen over time as it becomes a way of life throughout the government." Musk saving over $175 billion since the start of Trump's term and is getting honest about seeing that mission continue.
I was disappointed to see the massive spending bill, frankly, which increases the budget deficit, not just decrease it, and undermines the work that the Doge team is doing.
Musk learning a few lessons from his time in the swamp. He told the Washington Post, quote, "The federal bureaucracy situation is much worse than I realized." The billionaire also lamenting how Doge became D.C.'s whipping boy after the left turned on him and started torching Teslas. But now the Dems are left without their favorite scapegoat.
When Trump came in and Doge and Elon Musk began firing key safety officials for the FAA, began laying off key personnel, one of the biggest issues right now is a personnel issue in addition to the technology issues.
Trump and Musk are just eroding the American dream. They're rigging the system for billionaires while stealing from the elderly, from the disabled, to cut taxes for their billionaire club.
They are dead now at the hands of Elon Musk and his co-conspirators.
So, Jessica, we know that if the debt is not addressed within the next few years, we will probably face an economic collapse. Some will call it an economic heart attack. We'll have a weak dollar, hyperinflation, rising interest rates. And yet it was sobering to watch the Democrats root against Musk and Doge when they know that if he fails, there will be economic collapse. So I ask you, what is the Democrat solution for this coming crisis? If you weren't fine with Doge or Elon Musk, what is your solution, young lady, if I may call you that?
I mean, I'm 41, but I like to think of myself as young. Our solution is a Democratic redux from the 90s, where you have a Doge master, and it could be Elon Musk, that gets together and works with the administration and also works with Congress and does all of this the legal way.
Why was this one wrong?
Well, because he took the proverbial chainsaw, then a lot of times the courts had to overrule him. And frankly, the GOP wasn't interested in codifying any of his cuts. That's the problem. I mean,
they're wrong for that. But I'm asking you, what was wrong with what he did?
Well, because he wasn't paying attention to what he was cutting, which is why they had to reinstate all these people, from the folks who work for the weather services to the nuclear scientists. Just kind of woke up and started slashing things or sent baby big balls out there, and they didn't know what they were doing. And it's going to turn out that only $9 billion of the $175 billion that he originally touted, which was supposed to be $2 trillion, are actually going to be in this reconciliation package. And what the Democrats are arguing, and what I think you couldn't deny, is that it's reckless at this moment to ram through trillions of dollars in tax cuts for the wealthy when you haven't cut any of the spending, which is why Ron Johnson right now is a no, Rand Paul is a no, and they don't have the numbers for this. And I'm not saying that the Democrats are going to get Elon Musk back. Right, but he's so clearly disappointed, talking about the reconciliation bill and the work that he's done. And also Tesla's out there now tweeting saying you can't do these cuts that get rid of the energy tax incentives because the grid is going to be smashed as a result of it, and we're going to lose our energy independence. So I'm campaigning for you, Elon. We only talked for a little while when you were on the show, but we'll take you back, and we could Doge the right way together.
Jessica wants to claim, I'll take you back and we'll Doge the right way together. But let's get real, Jessica. That's never happening because the Democrat Party doesn't believe in cutting spending, saving taxpayers, or cleaning up the swamp. She's trying to paint this as a redux of the 90s, but the only thing that stayed the same is the Democrats' complete failure to deliver. And now she wants to call Musk reckless for trying to save the American taxpayer billions, while she sat silent as the swamp wasted trillions on who knows what. She talks like the Democrats are just a normal party that made a few mistakes. Jessica, your party didn't just get a few things wrong. They got everything wrong. They didn't just lose an election, they lost the popular vote. But maybe you just don't get it.
So it was just not the right way. The process was wrong. But they were 100% behind it, guys. What say you, Jesse?
You know, Jessica's laughing that he's gone, but it's like laughing at a funeral. The Democrats' funeral. Your party's dead, Jessica.
What?
And you basically pushed the world's wealthiest man into our arms. You took...
And now he's running from you. He went on one date.
Wait,
and
no,
done.
this is the day that he was supposed to leave.
Yeah, he's supposed to leave tomorrow, 180 days. How do I know that and you don't,
It's
Jessica?
130.
Listen, you now made Elon Musk the Republican Party's biggest donor. Thank you. Thank you very much. You think he's just going to stop giving?
He said I'm stopping
Okay,
giving.
I've heard that before. They're going to give. You think he's not giving to Vance? After what you did to him, you think he's just going to bury the hatchet? After you called him a Nazi? After you bombed his cars, you think the next election he's going to be like, all right, you know what? Let the Democrats get back in there. Because what do you think the Democrats are going to do when they get back in? They're going to go all in and try to put the man in prison. They're going to try to bankrupt his companies and investigate the hell out of him. You think he's not going to give anymore? You are an... I'm not going to say the word idiot, but you've made a huge mistake and you don't realize how dumb it is. Also, you're saying how much you need men. Young men idolize Elon Musk. They want to be him. They want to be based. They want to ride around in his trucks, and they want to hang with big balls. And now, every time you attack Elon Musk, you're attacking all of the young men that you need for your party to survive. You're attacking a living legend. We're talking Rockefeller, Ford, Jobs. Who's against him? Booker? He's a footnote. Liz Warren, what has she ever done? This man's expanding civilization. He's cut spending. He's actually found fraud.
Where?
You've never found it, Jessica.
And while he was doing that, he rescued astronauts that they then mocked while they praised Katy Perry.
Yeah, he's...
No one praised Katy Perry, to be clear.
He's like... She didn't look great, that shot. He's juggling like heroic acts, and you guys are chirping at him for the silence. You had your chance. You didn't cut spending. You didn't find fraud. You made Kamala Harris the AI czar, Jessica. This is like you're upset because he set a $2 trillion goal and didn't hit it. Okay.
He ended up with $9 billion.
He did more than you did. He did more than anyone has ever
That's
done
not true.
in about 3 decades, Jessica. This is like a fan. Every NFL season.
Just let someone else talk.
No. Every NFL season, every single team tries to win the Super Bowl. That's the goal. They don't all win the Super Bowl. But you're like on the side like, you tried to win the Super Bowl and you didn't win. You're not even playing. You're not even on the field. You're on the sidelines eating chicken.
Chicken, you say?
Chicken.
So, Emily.
Mic drop. Elon Musk just became the Republican Party's biggest donor. Couldn't have said it better myself. The party of common sense and moral clarity won the election, and it's no surprise Musk, a man of vision and logic, picked the winning team, or at least the one that aligns best with his values. There's no denying Musk has achieved incredible things, and here's one more big idea he could take on. Imagine him building the world's largest data center powered entirely by a self-sustaining hybrid system, hydro and solar, seamlessly working together. Picture it, on 1,000 acres of American soil, with the entire data center placed underground to maximize cooling efficiency. That's not just a project, that's a legacy. And if anyone can do it, it's Elon Musk.
Now that Jesse has paused, what do you think about the fact that he left when he said he would, which you never see with politicians? He doesn't linger like one of Swalwell's farts in an elevator. He said, I did my job. I made this a way of life. See you later.
Well, also, he was compliant with the statute, right? So we knew he had to leave at that time, which is why when the mainstream media crows, oh, he's being chased out of D.C., that's not at all what's happening. He came in for a certain amount of time, fulfilled his duties, and then left. He did cut spending. I mean, he found $4.7 trillion by the Treasury that because didn't have to do a line item, literally overnight that spigot was turned off because all of a sudden there had to be accountability. And I think about, the reality that it's so simple to slash all of this spending and all of this waste, fraud, and abuse. But the complexity was in the execution, was in the selling. Because at every step of the way, all of these Democrats and all of these liberals, they just inherited a system, and that was why they accepted it. Like, it matters about the title, not the actual productivity, right? You take the Social Security Administration. That's where I worked as a federal attorney in part. In 1 year, there were overpayments of $23 billion. But the Dems at the time were like, well, that's just 1% of the whole budget, so who cares?
Yeah.
And it's that kind of thinking that is so destructive instead of saying, we do care because it's death by 1,000 cuts, because economic catastrophe is the next logical step if you keep throwing away other people's money. So at the end of the day, when people who complain about the DMV think that that's not this on the larger scale, we have pundits right now saying, oh, he fired everyone that inspects our food, and that does. No, he didn't. That's, again, them inheriting the system, so automatically ascribing value, when the reality was all of that bloat, all of it needed to be exploded. And the only person that could do it was him through the algorithms. That's what Speaker Johnson said today. He said the bureaucracy was hiding it. That's why you can't do it the legal, boring way.
Yeah.
You didn't say boring.
I did say legal, though, which we should aspire to.
Yes.
Dana, I do find it, I think the thing that bugs me the most about it is he was doing something that was widely popular among the American public and still is. And yet the Democrats and the media attacked him for it. It's like, you talk about public service. He's not a politician. He didn't have to do this.
Right. I actually think that the long-term legacy of Elon Musk in this period of his life, and maybe forever, will be complicated. Because one thing that is wonderful is to go back to actually being willing to have this conversation about overspending. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, we're having the conversation, we're just not getting to the solutions. But we're getting to the root of it, which is that because Republicans and Democrats will not deal with the long-term problems of the entitlement programs and just making them work better, right? I'm not talking about cutting anyone's benefits, but making them work better for the people who deserve it. Until we're willing to deal with that, like Stephen Miller the other day when he posted that there's discretionary spending and there's non-discretionary spending, and you can't do anything about this. Well, if you wall off that part of the budget, then you're never going to get to this. But I do think they can keep DOGE going in a way. Well, they're going to with Russ Vought over at the Office of Management and Budget. One of the things we haven't talked about a lot is that I know that the money fell short of the waste, fraud, and abuse that they said they could find. But improving the technology at a lot of these places would be amazing.
Yeah.
Like, do you remember the computers that were like had a green screen? Like, that's the kind of stuff that some of the agencies were still using. That is extremely useful, and I think an exciting thing. But I also feel like for Musk, I like what John Ekdahl said on X. He said that Musk really went through this Republican Party experience. You have this euphoric victory, you have grand sweeping plans, you complete governing incompetence, and then you have political disillusionment. You're like, oh yeah, that wasn't so great. And he's right. It can be big, it can be beautiful. He doesn't know if it can be both at the same time. It will get done, but until we as a country actually deal with the non-discretionary issue, we will not be able to reduce the deficit.
Let's not get it twisted. This is all about who controls the narrative and who controls the people. Sure, it's about money, but the system is designed to make you believe there's not enough to go around. And we all know that's a lie. Just look at the billions wasted on illegal immigrants. Elon Musk did what he had to do. He figured out how to slash wasteful spending, upgrade the system, and now he's on to the next big project. He's not just a disruptor. He's pulling back the curtain on just how inefficient this whole system really is. So here's the question. Is Elon Musk really the villain, or is he just exposing the game for what it is? If you're with me, smash that like button for more raw, unfiltered commentary they don't want you to hear.